Sandy Krebs, but you can call me Chef Viva Vegana. In these videos, I'll be sharing with you how anyone can make delicious vegan food. So, let's cook. Hi, Chef Viva Vegana here. Today I want to share my recipe for Spanish brown rice with you. So, let's cook. I'm going to make this recipe using my Instant Pot, but if you don't have an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker, you can also make this recipe on the stove top with a pot with a good sealing lid. It just changes the cooking time, but I'll give you instructions for that as we get into the recipe. I make this Spanish rice recipe when I have things in the fridge I need to use up, ends of tomatoes and onions and peppers. I also use diced jalapeno or serrano in this recipe, but if you don't like your food spicy, that can be eliminated. Or if you don't have fresh jalapeno or serrano, you can use dried red chili pepper flakes. As you can see, I have a lot of scraps that I've taken out of the fridge here. I have part of a small onion, I have some ends of tomatoes, I have some pieces of yellow pepper and green pepper that I didn't use, and I have this hybrid of a lipstick pepper and bell pepper that has some ugly spots that I'm just gonna cut out and then use the rest of the pepper. In this recipe, I like to use the equivalent of one large onion diced, so I'm gonna use this kind of medium onion and what I have left of this small onion. I'm just gonna dice this all up and put it all in one bowl, and we will use that to saute. And there we have it, the equivalent of one large diced onion, one large diced bell pepper, and I just threw a little bit of tomato in there for fun. I'm going to start off by turning the Instant Pot onto saute. Then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I've got 4 cloves of chopped garlic and 1 chopped serrano. This is 1 large diced onion, 1 large bell pepper diced, and a couple of tomato ends just for fun. And 2 tablespoons of chopped oregano. If you don't have fresh oregano, you can use a ½ teaspoon of dried oregano, but if you're using dried oregano, you're not going to add that in until later when you're adding the rest of the spices in. We're just gonna give this a stir and let it saute until the vegetables are nice and translucent. Even a little bit brown would be okay. Oops, I forgot. I want to add 2 bay leaves. This has been sauteing for about 7 minutes now. You don't have to stand over it and constantly stir. You could just come back to it and stir every couple of minutes. I think I'm gonna let this go for another 2-3 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, this has been sauteing for about 10 minutes now. You can see all of the vegetables are a little bit translucent, and because I wasn't standing over it constantly stirring, there's a little bit of brown on the bottom too. At this point, I'm gonna kind of stir it to get that brown incorporated into the vegetables, because I don't want this rice to stick to the bottom of the pot while it's cooking. So now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to add 1 can of stewed tomatoes, 2 cups of brown rice, 3 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 2 tablespoons of ground cumin, and 1½ teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna give that a good stir. If we were doing this on a stove top, you would increase the water to 4 cups because it would evaporate somewhat during the cooking process. So it's 2 cups rice, brown rice, to 3 cups water in an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker, and 2 cups rice to 4 cups water if you're doing it on a stove top. So we're going to put the lid on at this point. You want to make sure that it's on sealing, not venting. We're going to cancel the saute function and turn on pressure cook. We're going to increase the time to 15 minutes and turn off the keep warm function, because after the 15 minutes, we're just going to allow the pressure to dissipate naturally, and that finishes the cooking process. If you were doing this on a stove top, you would leave the heat higher, the same temperature as you were sauteing the vegetables at, add in all of the rice and wet ingredients, and bring it to a boil. Put the lid on and then turn it down very low to a simmer and cook it for 40 minutes. The 15 minutes is up now, and as you can see, it's on off because we turned off the keep warm function. And because it has been cooking, it still has steam there. Don't try this at home. You could burn your finger. So we're going to allow the pressure to naturally dissipate. That should take about 25 minutes. Okay, that actually took 22 minutes for the pressure to dissipate from the Instant Pot. As you can see, the pressure valve is down now and all of the pressure is dissipated. Oh, that smells so good. And it looks so delicious. I'm gonna have a little taste. Mmm, delicious. I can't wait for dinner. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you'll like and share it and subscribe to my channel as well. So until next time, let's cook.